Hi everyone, James here. I wanted to create a quick, well, maybe not so quick, but a tutorial on how I utilize content aware to help me remove background elements from foreground and vice versa. That's not to say I don't use the clone stamp. Typically I use them in conjunction with each other, but the content aware can oftentimes be a little bit faster than just utilizing the clone stamp alone. So let's get started. So what I typically like to do is I'll create just a duplicate layer. So I'll do Control J, or you can right click and select a new layer. We'll turn this guy off for right now. I currently have my lasso tool selected. That's up here. You can hit L for the shortcut key. I'm a big fan of the shortcuts. So let's see. Let's select this. Okay. And then we can right click and select fill, or you can go over to edit and you can go and select fill from here. So what I'll do is I'll hit content aware. It's one of my choices, normal, 100% opacity. Okay. And it should remove it. So it does a pretty good job removing it, but you'll see here it's a little bit foggy through here. This obviously is not the best selection. Let me deselect my marching ants. I just hit Control D to deselect. Now, for us to create or to fix this, we could go in with the clone stamp and do this and just try to even out that, or let's see here, let's try something else. This was our original image. Let's just select this fence part here. Let's go to this quick selection tool. I'm going to zoom in. If you hold Z and drag, you can zoom in, and then once you let go of Z, you still have your tool selected. Let's move this around. So let us make sure we're on here. We're going to select this area. And then we'll refine it here. It's good. If you hit Alt, it will get rid of that part. Okay, it's not looking too bad. Let's here select a mask. I have onion skin selected. 20% transparency. The radius, let's see, we'll have it looking at maybe this particular instance doesn't really matter. It's a very straight edge, but usually it'll be like between 10 and 20 pixels. I'll have it. Let's see. I think we're all right. Won't mess with this. Typically, we can smooth it out, feather it out. Feather just pushes out that selection a little bit more. Contrast. Typically, when you increase your feather, you'll increase your contrast a little bit as well, just to sharpen up those edges. And then oftentimes when I'm doing hair selection, I'll shift the edge to the negative side of things, because otherwise you get that halo sometimes. Let's output to a new layer with the layer mask. Okay, and there we go. Not too bad. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. And because we have a mask here, we can just utilize our paintbrush, hit B. We can do that. I'm just using the brackets, open and close bracket, to resize it here. And we'll make sure white lets light through. So white basically is going to show what's behind. And if we hit X, it'll switch these up. So let's just get rid of this right here. Here's something. Might as well while I'm here. If you hit R, you can rotate your palette, and sometimes it makes life a lot easier as you come through. So I'm just gonna kind of just shave off a little bit of this edge right here. It's not too bad. And then the back sides. You see here where it's the mask is kind of blocking some of it. I'm going to hit X to switch to let some of this stuff, let this background come through. Or let the image come through, sorry. Using my paintbrush. I'm not going to span this whole portion of this front fence just because I don't need it. I only need that small portion where it's all wonky. But as you can see, this makes it easier, me using vertical up and down motions with my hand rather than horizontal. I'm gonna hit R again, shift that back. I'm gonna hold shift when I do that. All that does is just make sure I go in my either 40 degrees or 45 degrees or 90 degrees. So we have that. We're looking good. Let's come on here. If we move this here, let's see what we got. There we go. It's original. You see here, this is kind of raised up some, so we don't want that. So we'll just clone this up. So this is where we kind of move in the clone stamp to raise up some of this stuff and even out this area. So that being said, let's throw in a new layer. Let's move this layer down below here. We're gonna hit clone stamp. That way I'm working on another layer with a stamp. That's kind of creepy seeing that eyeball. Let's work with all layers. And then I like to hit my flow. It's about 10% so I can build up. I'm not gonna need that, so let's get rid of here. So I'm just gonna do some sampling and change out some of these guys. Here, we can just, actually let's increase the flow up on this area. We just wanna bring it up some. It's just gonna get blocked. So I'm hitting Alt to select a portion a little bit out of the way and then just reworking this. So we don't need that. We'll come through there. Let me just turn this on here and see. It's looking pretty good. I can see this portion right there. All right, let's change that flow back down to about 10 and then kind of paint some stuff in here. So ideally what I'm doing is I'm breaking down or cutting across with this grass into what would be where that content aware filled this portion. It's more pleasing to the eye, and the eye isn't caught up with a natural, say, splotches through here where this is not focused. That's completely fine. So I'm just going to take a sample from here. And keep in mind we're zoomed in quite a bit, so I'm just extending some of these bits of grass here. Let's extend this guy up too. Let's make this a little bit more of something. Let's see. I'll throw you in there. You look pretty good. We're going to do a quick, fairly fast job. You can spend as much time as you feel necessary on this portion to make it looking pretty fantastic. Let's cut that one. What is that one? Let's move up here. Let's see. This looks like a good spot to continue. Through here, we'll go down. Let's go up. Again, hitting Alt every now and then. Just to resample. Let's see. You look like a good spot. And just building it up. Get a lighter portion here. Let's see. If I hit Control and the minus key, that will zoom out a little bit. Let's see. Let's turn this back on. And hey, it looks all right. Let me add something in here. Let's right here. Looks like a good spot to sample. Kind of not feeling that one right there. I can get pretty into it, so we can put more. We can clone stamp more in here, but that's just the general idea. Yeah, content aware. Let's use content aware again right here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit Control, Alt, Shift, and E, and what that does is it basically takes a screenshot, basically a stamp of what I've worked on that's visible. So we're kind of starting almost like it's a new layer, it's a brand new photo. Let's move on to this plant here. Again, L for my lasso. Let's see what we can do here. Maybe we'll just start there, come around. Again, looks good. Right click, fill, content aware. Let's see what we do. That looks pretty good. We'll use the clone stamp and mess with this a little bit here. So Control D to deselect everything. Okay, let's create a new. Whoops. Let's create a new layer here. So if you hit Control Shift N, you can create a new layer and label it. Let's use our stamp S. Let's give ourselves something through here. Let's extend this just a little bit, down just a little bit, just to break up that. Let's see in here. Let's see, this might be a good spot. I'm going to utilize this portion right here. And we'll adjust some things. Extend the grass. Let's see. Come up to there. Give ourselves some grass right here. Move in, looks good. Grass. All right. That doesn't look too bad. For that, let's extend this guy. Build you. Put you, I can see where that's sampled. Extend that line. Let's just get rid of this one right here. Get rid of some of this stuff. These ghost blades of grass. And I'm sampling right on the line so I can almost, so I have a reference spot where I'm filling in. Fairly fast job here just because the main idea is for that content aware and then you come through. And if someone's going to look at this photo, I don't think that they're going to look directly at that spot and say, oh man, they did such a terrible job removing that weed. So it's in a nutshell, content aware. So it really helps speed up some time. Hopefully this helps out. This is actually my first tutorial, so maybe next time I'll be a little more articulate with what I'm trying to say, or just show you guys maybe some stuff. Sometimes I feel like I go by too quick. Like I said, I enjoy really using the keys on the keyboard in order to just speed up my workflow. But hopefully that helps. Again, content aware, use a little bit of clone stamp. Don't be afraid to select and mask in order to save some of those foreground elements. We'll just do a quick, let's see here. We'll just do a little before and after the one that I actually sent the client. So this is what this, and then here's another one. So you'll see this is moved out. That's moved out. The eye, there's hair in the eye that I got rid of. So you see through there versus here where we still have the hair in the eye. But anyways, hope this helps. And until the next tutorial, have a good one. Again, this is James. Bye, guys.